Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by First Financial Bank. Another step on the path to success. By IGS Energy. Take control of your natural gas and energy costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com. And by Nationwide. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. To find a local agent, visit Nationwide.com. Join the nation. Blue Jackets tonight from sunrise. The Blue Jackets and the Florida Panthers meet for the second consecutive game for the Blue Jackets. And again, Florida, after the loss at Nationwide, went on and beat the Red Wings in Detroit. The Jackets will head across the state and conclude this two-game road trip in Tampa on Saturday in a game you'll see here on Fox Sports Ohio. The starting goaltenders, and as we mentioned, a great matchup here tonight. Sergei Bobrovsky coming off that 2-1 victory. Made several key stops back between the pipes for the Jackets, and 200 feet away, he missed the game in Columbus. But Roberto Luongo, who leads all active NHL goaltenders in games played with 820, wins with 380, and shutouts with 67 between the pipes tonight. He was the winning goaltender in Detroit. Dvorsky, the veteran referee, joined by Gord Dwyer, Mark Shuchuk, Ryan Murphy are the linesmen. Jackets wearing their traveling whites. Panthers in their home reds were set for the opening faceoff, and this one is underway. Broken stick right off the top, and the Jackets able to sweep it into Florida territory. Campbell sends it ahead there for Huberdeau at the line. Jackets failed to keep it in, and the puck in neutral ice. And the Jackets looking to pick up where they left off Monday, Jody.
Yeah, that's for sure, and they're going to have to because Florida was not happy. Captain Willie Mitchell's comments after the game, not impressed with their effort, and they didn't think Columbus played that well either.
Here's a 2-on-1 trying to get back is Atkinson. Jackets able to steer it away from Fleischmann up high. That's Bjugstad unable to keep it in. And the puck in neutral ice. Both teams change up on the fly as we approach the 1 minute mark. Kulikov, who I thought had a pretty good game against the Jackets the other night. I know that from time to time the Panthers have been down on him, but boy, he was very aggressive and certainly can play both ends of the ice. Johansson chops it ahead, right to Scott Hartnell. Back for Johansson, and there's Luongo there with a stop, and he'll hold on.
Good play there by Ryan Johansson in the offensive zone, but let's take a look at defensive zone play early here. It's a 2-on-1. Savard lays out, and with that stick, makes himself about 10 feet tall, intercepts that pass, and there's a nice little play from Scott Hartnell to Ryan Johansson, who wastes no time and got that on Luongo.
Johansson wins the draw. Prout sends it in. Foligno, the wraparound attempt, and scores! 1-0, just what the doctor ordered. The Jackets take the early lead, 1:07 into this hockey game.
Well, Jeff, you said it, just what the doctor ordered here. Florida coming off the win in Detroit. Thought they played a pretty good game. You come down here to Florida, and you want to get on the board right away, and that's what the Blue Jackets do. Waste no time getting the puck of the net, and Nick Foligno doesn't even get to the goal line, just gets to the far side and throws it towards the front, goes off Luongo and in the back of the net. Nice
the 11th
play.
goal of the year for Nick Foligno, and the Blue Jackets doing exactly what they wanted to do. A lot of talk, Jody, this morning about the Jackets generating more shots on goal. And there was a case of Foligno showing that hustle with that wraparound, and the Jackets take the lead.
How about that play there by Calvert? Right off that faceoff after the goal. Panthers on their heels here, and the Jackets sense it. They're using their speed, and like you said, Jeff, pucks at the net.
Wisniewski off the wall. Skilly attempting to knock it down. The puck played by Olsen, sent cross ice there for Goodbranson. A clearing pass sails off the stick. The forward for Florida, Trocheck, who had an outstanding game in Detroit against the Red Wings on Tuesday night.
Yeah, goal and 2 assists.
Down is Bobrovsky as Hayes tries to fish that puck free. And we get a whistle.
Let's look at these keys, Jeff, from Toyota. And the first one, jump from the start. Well, that was a key, and it looks like they've executed that here. Control the pace. Florida wants to get in their game and play their system and their rhythm, and the Blue Jackets should contradict that and play the pace, control it the way they want, and execute passes, shots, everything you want to do. Execute it, make sure it's done well.
Campbell sends one wide of the net. That's Gibbons turning away from traffic. Knocked away by Kopetsky, thrown in front by McKenzie. The Jackets try to defend in front of Bobrovsky. Jared Bull, fourth line out there here, on to Adam Cracknell. It gets by Brian Campbell. Campbell playing his 247th consecutive game in the National Hockey League. McKenzie trying to fish that puck free. Gets it back from Thornton, the former Bruin. The shot blocked, and a second attempt sails wide of the net. Campbell now below that goal line, played by Leopold. He spent some time here in Florida with the Panthers. Jackets clear to center. Stepping up is Ekblad. Wires crossed among two forwards for Florida. Loose puck left at center and then dumped in.
That was Sean Thornton there. He was looking to get off the ice. The puck ended up in his feet. And that was a nice little turnover for the Blue Jackets. They didn't see it either, but little crisscross in the Panthers' wires, like you said, Jeff.
David Savard unable to clear. We're going to get a penalty here for high sticking. And they're checking Savard, so will it be 2 or 4 as Bjugstad makes his way to the penalty box?
Yeah, he was in the corner with Savard and battling for the puck.
Penalty 27, 2 minutes, high stick.
That's a 2-minute penalty. We just heard that from Gordy Dwyer. Let's take a look at this penalty here. You see David there. This is a good angle of it. Bjugstad stick right there. David sells it pretty good. Make sure the referees saw it, and they made the call. Jackets on a power play early in the game after scoring early. This is a good thing for the Blue Jackets.
Jackets on the power play was Wisniewski. Wheels it on the wing. Jack Johnson stepping up. Foligno camped in front. And the puck sails out of the zone. The Jackets come in tonight 7th best on the power play. 20 for 91. 22%. And on the kill, the Panthers are 16th at 80.2%. The Jackets were 0 for 2 against Florida Monday night at Nationwide. Here's Wisniewski. Drop for Johansson. Cross ice for Foligno. He has to coil back for it. Foligno at center. The goal scorer, if you've joined us late here, Foligno's 11th of the season on a beautiful wraparound. Great hustle there by Nick Foligno. And the Jackets have the lead here as we approach the 4-minute mark. They're on the power play there, and play has been called. Well, the assist on that Foligno goal going to Dalton Prout and your buddy, Scott Hartnell. And for Hartnell, that's his first assist in 17 games, his 297th, Jody, of his NHL career. Hartnell, some talk in Columbus Dispatch today, going a long time without assists. But that's a big one there, and he moves within 3 of 300 in the National Hockey League. What an accomplishment.
Well, that's good timing for him to get out there and get a point early in the game. I know he's looking for a goal again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
As a few guys are.
Hartnell goalless in 10. Atkinson goalless in 7. Skilly goalless in 9. The Jackets looking for that secondary scoring here.
Atkinson, though, leading the team with 84 shots on net. Boy, that is impressive.
Jackets send it in. Jokinen to play it. Jussi Jokinen lifts it out of the zone. Knocked out of the air. Good hand-eye coordination there by Savard. Savard from center.
Blue Jackets having a tough time, Jeff. Sorry, they're not attacking with speed through the neutral zone, and you see them come in easily when they do that. Now they get the puck back to get a chance to set up, but a lot of standing around in the neutral zone for the Columbus Blue Jackets on this power play.
Less than 30 seconds left of the power play. Calvert looking for the handle. Branson off the glass. Kept in by Savard, and alertly so. There's Luongo. Juggles it. Loose puck in front. Jackets tried to send it home, and Luongo kicked out that right pad, just keeping it out of that Florida net. Now Atkinson fires his shot. It trickles all the way almost to Calvert. 1 second left before Florida's able to clear, and now the Jackets changing things up here in neutral ice.
That last series in front of Luongo, Calvert was the one who caused a little confusion for Luongo and kept that puck alive. Good job by him in front of the net.
3 shots for the Jackets on the just concluded power play. Battle ensues along the wall. 5 minutes plus gone. Peary slips and falls, and they're going to call a penalty here for tripping as Peary is hauled down.
It looked like a little tiny puck battle. Like you said, from here it looked like he slipped and fell. But
Penalty 39, 2 minutes.
Gordy Dwyer again saw something different. Michael Chaput is going to sit for 2 here for tripping. Let's take a little look. Oh, there it is. He did reach for him, caught his leg there, and he stumbled. Peary stumbled down. So now the Florida Panthers get their opportunity on their first power play of the game.
They scored their only goal Monday night, Ekblad, from the point on a power play. Florida come in, middle of the pack on the... well, they're actually less than the middle of the pack. They're down to 22nd now. And power play efficiency at 15.3%. Jackets on the penalty kill, 25th at 75.6%. Ekblad's got it on that right point. He paired with Campbell. It's sent ahead here to Bjugstad. Drops for Campbell. Right back to Bjugstad on the half wall. Almost. And he is stripped of the puck there by Prout. Prout with a good second effort. Fleischmann hands it back there to Bjugstad. Far side, Ekblad off the point. Up high, it's Huberdeau. Huberdeau, cross ice to Bjugstad. Could not control it. Ekblad right there. Wraparound attempt, a second attempt, and it goes off Bobrovsky to the far side. Here's Campbell. Up high, Huberdeau. Ekblad retreats to the right point. Bjugstad takes it back here from Campbell. Approaching the 7-minute mark. The power play, less than a minute remains, and it's Johansson lifting it up and out.
Great play there by Dalton Prout. Thought he got hooked on the sequence, but he went in, battled for the puck, took the hit, and Ryan Johansson, who just did a great job killing that penalty, blocking shots, intercepting passes, and there being in the support position for Dalton Prout. Good heads-up play by those guys.
Bergenheim, Jokinen, Kulikov, on to Campbell, who's been out there for the entire power play, and he let one fly, but off the mark, and it ricochets all the way back into Florida territory.
Brian Campbell, yeah, you'll see him out there a lot in the power play. That's his job. Offensive defenseman, good skater. He's got that ability to not only get up in the forecheck, but then get back and cover up for vacating his position. So he's got some skill and some speed.
Puck knocked down. That's good Branson. Kulikov lets one fly. Nice pad save there by Bobrovsky, kicking out the right leg. Bergenheim left it there. Here's Goodbranson. Outsteps Chaput. The Jackets 1-for-1 on the kill, and it's Wisniewski high off the glass, but not out. Goodbranson shot is blocked. Picked up here by Matt Calvert. Sprinting down that right side. Here's Atkinson. Left wing. Jackets Chaput knocked down. Picked up here by Dalton Prout. Jack Johnson. Ahead here. Chaput hit in open ice by Kulikov.
Good play by Chaput. He knew that hit was coming, but he made sure he got the puck deep there.
Stopped by Bobrovsky. 7:59 in. We will step aside, but not before the hockey world lost another giant this week with the passing of Jean Beliveau. Jean Beliveau was a captain, a Hall of Fame player, and knowing him as a young broadcaster as I did, working in Montreal, I can honestly say, no finer, gentle man, and he will be missed. You see the time remaining in the opening period. The Jackets have that fourth line out there matched up against the fourth line of Florida. Less than 12 minutes left. Breakout pass there to Adam Cracknell. Down the left side, Gibbons. Luongo will deal to the corner. I'll tell you what, Jody, Roberto Luongo is an outstanding goaltender, but if there's a weakness in his game, he's not a great puck handler. And the Jackets have got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. You just saw there, a little sloppy coming up behind the net. Didn't get it right where he wanted to, and the Jackets had a little more offensive zone time.
There's Newski. Off Kopetsky. Puck in Florida territory. Now Mitchell for McKenzie. Left wing Kopetsky. Right there with Thornton, who did not play in Columbus after taking a puck to the face in practice. How about the Elkin Elk injury report? Speaking of injuries.
It's our favorite time of night, isn't it?
Oh,
nope.
Not at all.
And there it is, you see, for the Florida Panthers. Barkov did play in Columbus. He got hurt apparently in Detroit, so he's out with that hand injury. And there's our group. We saw Nathan Horton here tonight in the building. And
great to see you. Healing a little better. And that's good news on that as the night goes on. Right now, we are approaching the 9-minute mark. Campbell. Sprinting down that that left side is Trocheck. Jackets are able to keep the Panthers from gaining the zone. Knocked down Johansson by his own teammate there. Here's Pirri, throws it across the goal mouth. Jackets will play it. Foligno reaching for it along the wall. Foligno. Johansson ahead here for Scott Hartnell at center. He'll send it off the wall into Florida territory. That flag for Campbell.
Hartnell's out there protecting the change. His line mates were able to get off. He just wanted to make sure Campbell didn't have free reign to skate up the ice.
Leishman in full stride, and then he slips and falls at the goal line. Gets back up, appears to be all right. Goodbranson unable to play it, and Atkinson with a breakaway. Atkinson moves in, shoots, and scores! Cam Atkinson finds the back of the net, his first goal in 8 games, and that is huge. 2-0 Blue Jackets.
Wow, what speed by Cam Atkinson here. He saw the puck squirt loose, and he was gone. Right up the ice. Good speed. Olsen's trying to catch him the whole way, but no chance. And there's a turnover right here, and you see Atkinson gone. He gets his head up. It's him, Luongo, and he beats Luongo over the glove. And that's got to feel good for Cam Atkinson, who was leading the team with 84 shots. And like you said, that was his 8th goal of the year right there, and it's been a while. What, 8 games, did you say, Jeff?
Absolutely. But not from a lack of effort.
Exactly right.
Jackets 2. Florida no score. Reichel throws it back to the point. Jack Johnson unable to keep it in. We will step aside. Jackets out shooting Florida 7-4. Outscoring them 2-0. Reichel picks up his second NHL point with the assist. Or Bobby Orr, one of the greatest players in the history of the game, lives here in South Florida and is in attendance tonight. We'll get a chance to visit with him in the first intermission. You'll want to stay tuned for that. And one of his players in the Orr group, none other than Blue Jackets forward Nathan Horton, is in the building here tonight. And Jody, you talked about it. Nathan is here, as is his family. And the word is, Bobby said, don't count Nate out yet. So that's good news. Nate telling us that he's feeling a little better.
That's great news. And when they just showed him on that camera shot, they were showing a little tribute to Jean Beliveau. And the look in his eye and that kind of compassion that he has for everyone. But that Beliveau moment, that was really nice.
And just as a reminder, you enjoy a cold one. To stay tuned later in tonight's contest for our Miller Moment, brought to you by Miller Lite. There is Mitchell, but just a quick thought there on Jean Beliveau. You were surprised, as I think the entire hockey world would be, when they learned that his name is on the Stanley Cup no less than 17 times, 10 as a player, 6 as a captain, and 7 as an executive with Montreal.
That's unbelievable. 10 times as a player, I knew that, but I didn't know the other times. And the stories about him and the way Montreal as a city and Quebec as a province reacted, along with the hockey world, was just tremendous. A lot of respect, and he's held in a very high regard amongst anyone in hockey.
As a young broadcaster, I had a chance to spend a lot of time while in Montreal and covering the Canadians, doing their radio at that time. And boy, Beliveau couldn't have been nicer. And boy, when I say he was a gentle man, he was. But when he walked in a room, Jody, he commanded everybody's attention. Not because he was looking for it, just because he was the man that he was.
Isn't that something?
Face-off will come to the left of Bobrovsky. 8:56 left. Jackets have stormed to a 2-0 lead. Foligno at 1:07. Atkinson at 9:51. Branson, Pirri. Battle along the far boards. Reichel able to steer it ahead. We mentioned he's riding a point-scoring streak now with assists in each of the last 2 games.
That was a great play by him there. The Florida Panthers defenseman tried to keep the puck in the zone. He hugs the wall, makes sure he isn't able to do it, and gets it out.
Trocheck cross ice. Active stick there of Boone Jenner. And a dandy.
That's great hustle. Great back check. You know, those type of plays, they're contagious. If you're on the bench and you see Boone Jenner hustle back like that with his stick, you know what? You have got to get out there and match that kind of effort. So good to see that from Boone, leading that way.
Shot, and a heavy shot coming from the point off the stick of Connaughton. Luongo the stop on the edge of the goal crease.
Let's take a look at this play I mentioned by Kirby Reichel, who's only playing his third game in the NHL. Number 52, watch, there's a puck battle here. His job is to win the puck battle. Okay, now he knows the puck's on the wall. He gets his skates on the wall, negates the play. Branson was trying to keep the offensive zone time alive, but heads up and good effort, because when you're on that wall as a winger, boy, the urgency is high. Your job is to get it out, and when you're a young player in this league and you're trying to make an impression, those little details help your cause.
Jackets, we're seeing the MO here tonight. They are directing shot after shot at the Florida net. Look at Jared Bull denied. Luongo lost his stick, tried to scramble back to his feet, but he makes a nice pad save on Bull from point-blank range.
What an opportunity.
Jackets have doubled up on the shot clock, Jody, 10-5.
Yeah, that was, you're right, Jeff, the MO, and it's great to see them do this. Funnel pucks towards the net. You can talk about it all day long, but to actually go out there and do it, it's paying off in a big way.
Adam Cracknell lifts it up and out. Ekblad paired with Campbell. Ekblad to play it up the left wing boards, and this is Kopecky. Long shot, steered aside by Bobrovsky. Fleischmann. There is Chaput. Fleischmann tied up, and alertly so by Leopold. Swept to the left wing boards. Matt Calvert unable to play that puck. Huberdeau lets one go, and that is off the netting and out of play.
Let's take a look at Jared Bull's opportunity here, and he's got a very good chance in front of the net. Little tip, he actually touches that, and then he turns around. The puck is on his forehand. Not very often that's going to happen. When you get the tip, and then you turn, and there you find it right on your stick again, but it was rolling.
Up along the wall, there is Mitchell. Tosses it behind the net. Fleischmann tried to get to it. The Jackets defend. And now Leopold sends it up and out on the backhand, back into Florida territory. Matt Calvert tied up there by Kulikov. Loose puck. Chaput. Calvert. Fleischmann tosses it behind his own net. Kulikov. Oh boy, he had his pocket picked there by Calvert. Doesn't give up on it. Tries to get it to Skilly. Skilly now had it knocked away. Kulikov. Left wing Huberdeau. Huberdeau by Savard. Down the left wing goes Fleischmann. Late in the shift for him, but he'll head off after sweeping it in.
The Jackets are doing a good job of taking pucks, back-checking, all those little details that we talked about, shooting the puck. It's good to see them respond this way after a win. You know, there's no letdown right now as to after the win. They're not content. They want to keep that feeling in the room, and you can see it. It's evident here tonight in the first period.
Johansson reaches for it. Florida able to clear the zone. This is Bergenheim now at center. The Killer Bees have been broken up with no Barkov in the lineup tonight, so Jokinen moves into the pivot spot. He'll play between Bergenheim and Boyes. Branson with the poke check now, battling in the corner there with Hartnell. Johansson comes in to help out, sweeps it up the boards, but there is Bergenheim. Late in the shift. Sends it ahead to center to Jokinen. Boyes will dump it in, and changing up. Boyes heads off after Bergenheim has been replaced, and the Jackets dump it back into Florida territory. Lead pass. This is Hayes. Ankles it in on the off wing. Bobrovsky unable to trap it behind the net. Connaughton all over Ekblad. Notice how Ekblad, he has the green light, and boy, does he fly into that offensive zone.
There he is on the forecheck. That's a great observation.
Before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to join the battle on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live is brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
There's Ekblad, and like you said, up on the play, back in defensive mode, tied with the team lead in points now. A rookie player. You know, he's actually living with the captain, Willie Mitchell. He's an 18-year-old kid, and I think that's a great idea. These young kids, cooking, cleaning, all those things you want. It's just a smart way to do it for an 18-year-old kid. And there's Willie. He's won two Stanley Cups with the Los Angeles Kings. Comes here as a free agent, signs, and gets the captaincy right away. Just full of experience and just a real good person. So And he plays defense along with Ekblad, not together. And Willie actually had a comment. Dennis Potvin was talking to Willie this morning, and he said Willie said he could actually learn from Ekblad. He said, like, shooting with the puck up, little things like that. He's so impressed with this 18-year-old skill.
Speaking of young players, there's Reichel, takes a hit, does not back away, and it was Ekblad throwing the hit. Now those two would be no strangers to one another, playing in the Ontario Hockey League.
That's right.
And here we get an offside. So with 4:09 left, we will step aside. 2-0 Blue Jackets lead on goals by Foligno and Atkinson.
2-0 Jackets here in South Florida. The reason behind the quick start in your estimation, Craig?
Well, we came out and I think we got our forecheck established real quick. And again, that's what it's our staple, it's our identity. We maybe haven't had it every night, but tonight we did.
You knew you'd get a pushback from Florida, and I think they've given you a little bit of that. How do you think you're responding to their pushback from what happened to them Monday night?
Well, I think, they're a good young team. They're going to keep skating. They got good young forwards. So again, we've got to skate in the back. From our blue line back, we've got to be real quick.
Play underway, neutral ice. Huberdeau unable to get a stick on it. Kulikov does. And the outlet pass in the left wing. Huberdeau hands here to Bjugstad. Off the wall, Bjugstad trying to play it himself. Leopold out of play. Well, Roberto Luongo, we mentioned to start this telecast, Jody, was the active leader in games played. Well, as astutely pointed out by a tweet back to me here, with tonight, so I'm partially right, but with tonight, Martin Brodeur having signed a contract with St. Louis, he becomes the active leader in a lot of the categories, because up until he signed a contract, why Brodeur was out there wanting to return to action, and somehow I'm going to have a hard time here as we get a look at Prout and Thornton.
Yeah. Thornton, I didn't see how this started, but I did see them having a little conversation earlier.
This is a heavyweight buzz.
Well, Thornton buddies with Lucic in Boston.
I was just thinking that very thing.
Yeah, so he knows how tough Thornton or Prout is, that's for sure. Prout's a big boy. He's got lefts and rights available. Thornton, one of the most honest fighters in the league. I mean, he's just a super honest guy. Shows up, does his job, does it well. Good on Dalton Prout there.
Just to finish the thought, hard to see Martin Brodeur play in a St. Louis uniform after all those years in New Jersey.
That's right, isn't it? It's like the old Brett Favre thing. So this is it. Look at Prout here and Thornton right down at the bottom of your screen. They're chatting. They're talking about it. Thornton gets the jump on him. He drops the gloves. It's his way of saying yes there. Thornton's a smart fighter. He's got a good grab on Dalton Prout. Thornton trying to get something going here with his team down 2-0, and nice of Dalton to applause. Oh.
Look at the Jacket fans.
Dalton Prout. Look at that.
Now, did you teach that fan the form?
No, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Maybe that's Dalton Prout's. He's in Prout's corner there, I guess.
3.5 minutes left. Jackets out shooting Florida. 11-8. They lead 2-0. 5 minutes each for fighting. Prout and Thornton. Johansson settles down that bouncing puck. Bergenheim able to get a stick on it, but it's Hartnell away down the left wing. He's got Johansson and right wing for Foligno offside.
Columbus Blue Jackets hockey brought to you by Nationwide, the official sponsor of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And that was an offside. Scott Hartnell had speed going up the left wing, and he thought maybe throw it across ice. Let's take a quick look at it here. He's talking to Nick Foligno. He's got Ryan Johansson going in the middle. You'll see this here. The defensemen are backing up. And there, he throws it across ice, causes the offside for this faceoff.
Dumped into Columbus territory, played to the left wing boards, chipped ahead by Trocheck. He'll get it back. Trocheck into the slot looking for Perry, kicked ahead off the skate of Hayes, but unable to kick from skate to stick. Now Jenner, the attempted clear, knocked down. Trocheck, Hayes, Peary. Got Branson with a shot that sails wide of the net. Stepping up here now on that left side there, but unable to get the shot through is Olsen, and the Jackets dump it back into Florida territory.
Good job by Columbus. Stay inside the offense of the Panthers. Block the shot, clear the zone, change. Very safe and smart play by the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Jackets throw a hit on the far boards. That was Jack Johnson, and the Jackets have out-hit Florida here in the opening period. 11-8 for the moment. Long shot there by Campbell, blocked in front, alertly there by Wisniewski, and Calvert's away. Down the right wing and across the line. Working there on Campbell. Gets by Campbell, centers the puck, and it goes off the stick of Jack Skilly and fired back into Jackets territory.
I think Jack Skilly was surprised there, Jeff. Backhand pass from Calvert. Quick heads-up play. And Skilly was coming through the offensive zone, right in the slot. Couldn't reel it in.
Ekblad will hustle back in front of the Florida bench. Aaron Ekblad settles it down, looks off Bjugstad, now hands to Bjugstad at center. The Minnesota product, unable to get anywhere. Jackets have cleared the zone. Johansson, a no-look pass on the left side there for Foligno. Ekblad defends. Foligno puts the brakes on. Looks off Hartnell, who will play it in the corner now. Cycling out. Hartnell on to Foligno. Settles down that bouncing puck along the right wing boards. Foligno protects it away from Ekblad. On to Hartnell. Johansson looking for some open ice. Hartnell now circling the net. Hartnell looking for Johansson. Knocked down by Bjugstad. Hartnell will get it right back. Less than a minute to go in this opening period. Hartnell, Foligno. Jackets playing keep away right now. Up high, Leopold for Savard. Floats one in. Redirected by Hartnell, but blocked by Florida and sent to center. This is Huberdeau. Backhands a pass on the wing for Fleischmann. Down is Bobrovsky, and he will cover up.
Well, great puck possession by that Foligno, Johansson, Hartnell line. You saw their last shift. They went offside there with that east-west, side-to-side play instead of the north-south. This shift they come out north-south, play down there in the offensive zone, and really, like you said, Jeff, keep away was what they did. They had a couple opportunities at net. One puck gets knocked out of the air, but I like how they were waiting for that shot to come available to take advantage of getting it in there and get the rebound.
Florida win the draw. Kopetsky's shot is blocked. Stepping up, there's a shot. Bobrovsky to stop. Rebound sent wide by McKenzie. Derek McKenzie, a former Blue Jacket, signing a 3-year contract here in Florida. Kick save, not once but twice by Bobrovsky from point-blank range.
That was a great save by Sergei. He had to be sharp on that one. Last-minute shot, last-minute deflection, and a rebound. Well, he stayed with it.
Don't want to give up those goals in the final minute.
No, that's right. This is a crucial time there.
Final seconds, Kopetsky at center. Jack Johnson for Gibbons, picked up by Kopetsky. Pretty impressive period by the Jackets.
I think so. Ideal start. They come out and get a goal quickly. Then they get a power play. They got a penalty kill right away. Sergei Bobrovsky made some key saves. And I like that everyone's going. They've had a fight. I thought that was a very entertaining period.
And there is Atkinson, who picks up his 8th goal of the season, following up on the goal by Foligno. Stay tuned. Very special opportunity to visit with one of the all-time greats. Bobby Orr will join me in this first intermission, and he has some strong thoughts on the Jackets. Stay tuned. Back here in Sunrise, getting set for second period play. Blue Jackets leading Florida by a score of 2-0. Nick Foligno opened the scoring at 1:07, and then Atkinson with his 8th. And the Jackets lead after 20 minutes of play. Boone Jenner wins the draw to start period number 2. Jeff Rimmer, Jody Shelley, Dave Metzel joining you here from the BB&T Center in Sunrise. How about the IGS Energy performers, Jody, after 20 minutes of play?
Oh, these guys chipped in the first period. As you mentioned, the first two guys, Dalton Prout, a couple assists and a fight. Not a bad start.
All he needs is a goal for that Gordie Howe.
Or two. Or how about 2 more goals and another fight?
There you go.
Or 2 goals and another fight. That's a double Gordie. Or is that the Bobby?
That's a good point.
I don't want to start making stuff up.
10 seconds in. Face off to the right of Bobrovsky. Won by Fleischmann. That's Campbell on the far wall. Throws it behind the net. Jackets defend. David Savard, incidentally, leading all skaters for both teams in ice time. He was better than 9 minutes. And the only player, in fact, the guy that was right behind him in ice time as the puck is cleared over the glass and out. How about Ekblad? He led all Florida players, Jody, with 8 minutes and 17 seconds of ice time.
Yeah, that him and Brian Campbell. You've seen a lot of those guys. And as you mentioned, Savard, I was impressed with Leopold. Now, there's a guy they picked up. You know, they'll trade, and everyone thought it was a kind of a minor trade, but a veteran player has fit in very well. He's right behind Savard in ice time. He's earning it, and he's earned that trust of Todd Richards quickly. And he's really asserted himself here in Columbus.
How about his leadership that he's provided the team?
I agree with you. I mean, that's you're looking at a young team here in Columbus, and leadership is a big, big deal. Gerard Gallant, you take a look at him there. He's got leaders. He's got Willie Mitchell. He's got a couple. Brian Campbell, some guys that have been around for a while. And, you know, and Todd had his oldest player was Scott Hartnell at 32, who's definitely a leader. But when you bring in a guy like Jordan Leopold, who's, I mean, he's played for 7 teams in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
And comes in here and really appreciates this opportunity. It's a good fit.
In front, Jenner. He shoots and scores. That's goals in back-to-back games for Boone Jenner, who had one. The game winner on Monday night and connects for his third of the season, and the Jackets lead 3-0.
And his buddy, Kirby Reichel, with another nice play. These guys are working very well together. They started the game in Columbus, and they started here tonight. And this is their second shift this period. Kirby Reichel gets the puck in the middle, and he wastes no time getting it at the net. Cam Atkinson, you saw him go in front of the goalie. There is Cam battling for the puck, ties up Mitchell. And Boone Jenner said, thanks, guys. Complete line effort. Those three guys right there helped each other in all different ways. Boone cashes in, but I like the play of Kirby Reichel with that initial shot.
I hope the folks at home had a chance to watch and listen to the interview with the Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats, Bobby Orr, who had high praise for Boone Jenner, singling Jenner out. And, of course, those two played in Oshawa. Different eras, of course.
Who did, Bobby?
Bobby played the Oshawa Generals. He was captain. And, of course, Boone Jenner, several decades, I joke with Orr later.
They have a good organization there in Oshawa. They're tough to get, I think, in one of the top teams in the Ontario Hockey League. Both Castles out of there.
Exactly.
Scott Lawton from Philly. They all played together with Boone Jenner.
Puck knocked down. And quickly played in front of the Jackets net, but Bobrovsky was there once more. Down the right side, Skilly looks rink wide. Played by Chaput, and he whistles one wide of the net.
How about Bobrovsky on that save, Jeff? I mean, that was an in-tight opportunity. He's looking behind the net, trying to find the puck, and the next thing it's in front. And he quickly reacts to that save. It's very sharp.
How about the chemistry of the Jenner, Reichel, Atkinson line? They have certainly connected since they were put together here. And tonight, Reichel has a couple of assists. Atkinson has a couple of points. And this line is certainly generating some offense for the Jackets here. And after the whistle, a little pushing and grabbing, but not much going to develop here.
Watch this little play in front of Sergei Bobrovsky, though. The puck goes to the net, and the Panthers have guys in front. And look at this. Sergei, he's down. He's got post-to-post cover with his pads. Watch him split his legs right here. And then he finds the puck, covers it, and watch Wisniewski. Oh, Wisniewski there. Wisniewski. Tries to get the player off him with the end of his stick. Little skirmish. Kopecky just keeps the feet moving like he's a linebacker, trying to bowl over Wisniewski. Interesting little series there in front of Sergei Bobrovsky.
Incidentally, Thornton and Prout have completed their 5-minute major penalties and have moved on to their respective benches. In fact, Thornton has found a spot while Dalton Prout right now is camped right there on the edge of the faceoff circle, and here makes the play and quickly gets it to Foligno.
That was a good play by Dalton Prout. Got his stick on the ice, intercepted that pass, and able to cause the breakout for the Blue Jackets.
2 assists tonight for Dalton. Up high. Jack Johnson purposely rips it wide of the net. Played there by Hartnell. Hartnell on that far wing. Back to the point. Prout tried to shovel it ahead. Got just a piece of it. Here's Huberdeau walking in. Pass crossing for Fleischmann, who rips it home. Unselfish play there by Huberdeau, and Fleischmann does not miss.
That was a nice play by the Florida Panthers, but let's take it back to the offensive blue line. Watch Dalton Prout here. Rolling puck. You see it rolling right now. Still rolling. He tries to keep it in the offensive zone. Then he tries to check forward. Just loses that competition. Jack Johnson's left all alone. And boy, that's a heck of a shot by the Florida Panthers. 2-on-1. And that is top shelf. Fleischmann made no mistake with that shot.
Second of the year. And again, Huberdeau will pick up the primary assist. Unselfishly tossing it far side. He had a clear shot to the net. But dishes to Fleischmann, who finds the back as Dalton Prout victimized there. Bukestad also picks up an assist at 2:54. Toss to the far side. Picked up there by Jimmy Hayes. Hayes throws to the corner. Savard there defending. Jocek tried to get a stick on it. Up high. Mitchell. Kulikov on the right point. Atkinson chips ahead, but not out. Reichel pressuring and forces a turnover. Jackets able to get it out. Reichel just a bulldog there, not giving up whatsoever. And offside the call.
After every Blue Jackets game, Fox Sports Ohio breaks down the game and talks to the players and coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy. IGS Energy, take control of your natural gas costs. Enroll at IGSenergy.com.
You know, the Blue Jackets come out and score a goal, Boone Jenner, early in the period. But I think Florida's had a lot of good opportunities. They came out in the second period here with a little more at-the-net attitude, and you can see it. They got rewarded with one goal, but Sergei's had to be sharp.
And he has been the busier of the two netminders here, because late in period one, Florida went ahead on the shot clock. And now are out shooting the Jackets 18-13. 5 shots here in the second period to 2 for Columbus. You're right on.
And that McKenzie shift right at the end of the period, that was their best opportunity. If you recall, right at the end of the first period, they took that into the locker room. And they've really continued here. The Jackets have to sharpen up a little bit on defense.
Thornton out there, fourth line. For Florida, McKenzie off the goalpost. Out of position there is Bobrovsky, who's lost his goal stick. It's shoveled back to him by Connaughton. And some anxious moments with some chaos around the Jackets' net.
Wow, how about that? Big scramble. So Sergei stayed with it.
Connaughton and Thornton get caught up with one another. No damage done. Jackets send to the Florida line. Thornton attempted to rifle it in. Johansson got his stick on it. The Jackets dump it into Florida territory.
Yeah, Thornton put that right off the linesman. He didn't look where he was going to dump the puck. Off the linesman, comes back into their own end here. Columbus.
Left wing. Knocked down by Thornton, who will find his way to the Florida bench. And this is Johnson. Jack Johnson pressured there by Bukestad. Wins the battle. Tosses it into the slot. Hartnell is there for Columbus, and he'll send it back into Florida territory. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Jackets lead by 2. Teams have traded goals here in the second. Ekblad unable to get a handle on it. Here's Fleischmann, who scored the goal. Drops it back for Bukestad. Bukestad with a backhand and scores.
Out there now with Hartnell, Foligno. You like to see them play some offensive zone hockey, but they're on the back check here, and that's Fleischmann who squeaks by Jack Johnson, and then at the last second, that might have got off of the stick of the defender, Scott Hartnell. No, it looks like it went clean in. It fooled Bobrovsky between his legs there. That's 2 quick goals there for the Florida Panthers. Columbus find themselves on their heels and call a timeout here.
2 goals, less than 3 minutes apart. Just over 2 minutes apart. Bjugstad picks up his second point and second consecutive shift. He assisted on the Fleischmann goal and scores his 9th on the backhand.
Jeff, we're going to look at it again because there's a little chaos. You watch Jack Johnson. Fleischmann squeaks by, and then he finds Bjugstad in the middle. Watch Jack Johnson come back in your screen right there. He's trying to get back to the middle of the ice. But that's where the confusion comes in for Sergei, because you see the sticks. As Johnson tries to intercept that shot on net, it goes past Sergei right to his legs.
Fleischmann and Ekblad draw the assist. And for Ekblad, he now moves into the points lead for this Florida Hockey Club with the second assist.
It's impressive for an 18-year-old kid. And there's Bjugstad. That's one of another blue chip prospects here for the Florida Panthers. He's big. He's over 6'5". He's got skill. He's got speed. Dangerous player.
8 shots this period in a little over 5 minutes for Florida. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Jackets with 2. And the puck play here by Mitchell. Pressure coming from Atkinson. Reichel steers it back. Stepping up is Savard. Odd man break here. 4 abreast. Cross the line. From the left wing, a shot from a sharp angle sailed wide. Kulikov joining the rush. The 4th skater for Florida. Off Hayes, left all alone. There's a penalty upcoming to the Jackets. Hayes sprung the puck loose, forcing the Jackets to take a penalty.
Well, the timeout didn't do much for the Columbus Blue Jackets whatsoever. And watch this play here. That's Jordan Leopold. He's got to make a decision. He makes the right one right here. Takes away that passing lane. Frustrates the Florida Panthers play, but then the play comes to the front of the net. And no one is really back and helping in front of the net. There's Florida Panthers players standing by themselves. He gets on the wrong side of the player in front of the net, has to hook him. There's a golden opportunity is sitting in front of Sergei Bobrovsky. The Jackets have got to get back to that simple hockey right now, Jeff, on this penalty kill.
And for Florida, they're 0 for 1. They had 3 shots on their first attempt. This is Jokinen. Jokinen drops it back. Ekblad partially fans on it. Jokinen follows through, but the Jackets block it in front. Prout steps in front of that intended shot and sends it on the backhand back into Florida territory.
Yeah, Prout got his skate out there on that, picked it up to his stick, heads up play, backhand out of the zone.
Ekblad with the pass, fought off there by Bobrovsky. That was right off the goalie mitt, but unable to clutch the puck here. Ekblad on for Bergenheim. Thrown back to the point. Ekblad looks to the left side. Campbell, Jokinen, Ekblad, and that one he partially fanned on as well. Went off the heel of his stick. Jack Johnson, the clearing pass goes off. Matt Calvert able to send it up, but not out. Brad Boyes able to save it at the line, but Prout will find a lane and send it deep into Florida territory.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, from up here, that puck, you can see it from up here. It is bouncing and rolling everywhere. You saw Ekblad fan on a shot. You saw Dalton Prout fan on a shot. Hard to settle that thing down.
Huberdeau trying to walk around the Jackets defender, who will have none of that. And the puck sent back into Florida territory. 42 seconds remaining in the Leopold penalty. Left wing Campbell at center. Right side moving up is Bjugstad. Walks around Wisniewski. Taken to the corner there. The defensive play by Atkinson. Fished free by Fleischmann. In front, Campbell denied. The glove save. Flashing the leather there was Bobrovsky, keeping this one a 3-2 hockey game.
Well, everyone is in the corner looking at the puck, trying to support James Wisniewski and Savard, who are battling here. And look at this. All alone is Campbell. And Sergei says, thank you very much. You see him back there. Sergei's at the top of his crease. And the glove hand save.
Face off to the right of Bobrovsky from the draw, won by Bjugstad. Fleischmann and Bjugstad have been all over the ice here for Florida in the second period. But Branson waits. Fleischmann looks for some open ice. There's a shot off the side of the net. Bjugstad says it went in. And Florida has come from behind to tie it up. The officials will visit That was on the far side of us. It would have to be a short side goal. What do you think?
I don't know what to think about this play because Bjugstad puts it in the net. Okay, ref didn't see it, but Bjugstad tells him he puts it in, then he blows the whistle.
That's that. Can't see it from there. The overhead.
So the referee blows a whistle after Bjugstad points for a goal.
Yeah. Well, he gave the goalie motion or the goal motion pointing to the net, not the official.
So then the ref said, "Okay, whistle. Let's check it out." So he was so adamant about it. You could see him there point in and out. Interesting play here. If we could look at it. Here, we're going to take a look at it again.
It's under review.
And here it is. You see him just whip it. Oh, yeah. He knew what he was talking about.
Bjugstad's second consecutive goal, and he's tied it up here for Florida.
And that was off of... looked like Jack Johnson went down there to try to make that play. Good play by Jack Johnson, right idea, but Bjugstad, boy, from behind the goal line, it's so tough. And Jack Johnson I talked to him last week about those plays, the shots from the goal lines. He said Detroit does it so well, those tough angles. As a defenseman and for the goalie, it's hard to pick up the initial shot and the rebound, but there's a great example of it.
3 goals in less than 8 minutes. And Florida has come from a 3-0 deficit to tie up this hockey game at 3. 25 shots have been directed at Bobrovsky in the Jackets' net. And Florida come again. Hayes in front. Fought off there by Bobrovsky. Still a loose puck. And Matt Calvert will walk it out of the zone, sending it off the wall. Tries to hustle to it. Mitchell steps in front for a little interference. There is Kulikov. Here comes Florida again. Trocheck drops it back. Shot there by Perry, and it sails wide. It's all Florida here right now.
Yeah, it really started at the end of the first period. With Derek McKenzie in that fourth line got rolling in front of Sergei Bobrovsky. The Jackets went to the end of the period with the 2-goal lead. Came out and got the early goal. But boy, since then it's been all Florida.
Bjugstad from Huberdeau and Goodbranson at 7:31. A power play goal. And Bjugstad's second of the night. James Wisniewski. Moved by Connaughton to center. Bouncing puck will play outside the zone. Jared Bowles steers ahead. Some help there from Adam Cracknell. Gets away from him. Connaughton shovels ahead. Cracknell tried to backhand from in that slot. But again, Florida, they're coming in waves here. And McKenzie shots turned aside and out of play. As we go to break, the overhead that we spoke of, the definitive look. Bobrovsky comes off the post.
A 3-3 hockey game in Florida. Hey, right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, Rick Gethin explores the subject of loyalty to one team in today's NHL. Get the latest Blue Jackets insight with a recap of last night's Rinkside Chat. And can Cardell Jones do the job at Ohio State? JT Barrett chimes in on the next man up for the Buckeyes. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports. Brought to you by 1-800-SAFEAUTO.com.
Back to the live action. Jokinen looking to walk out. How about this, Jody? Florida has 19 of the last 21 shots on goal, including the last 13 straight.
Yeah, you can see it. They've really come on here in this second period. Columbus is fine. They just got to get on their game. When they started this game, they came out skating, shooting, doing the little things in the offensive and defensive zone. They got to get back to that mentality.
Top line out there. Foligno ridden off on the play there by Olsen. Moved by Boys ahead on the left wing. Jokinen for Boys. Hustling into the zone. Boys closing in on 200 National Hockey League career goals. Currently sitting at 193. Dalton Prout gets it ahead for Foligno, who fights off the check. Foligno, nice move around Huberdeau. Crosses the line. Hartnell knocks it down. Hartnell looks in front for Johansson. Foligno goes right back at Kulikov. Florida on the breakout. Fleischmann not able to get a stick on it. The Jackets send it to the line. Foligno for Johansson. Huberdeau. Stepped into there was Johansson by Mitchell.
He took a whack at him after that hit. He didn't like that. Mitchell right at the end of Johansson's shift.
Down is Luongo, and he will cover up. 9 minutes and 19 seconds left, second period. A 3-3 tie here in Sunrise.
It's a 3-3 hockey game here in South Florida. Brad Larson, two simple questions. The first is, what happened?
We let their foot off the pedal, and they got one. They got some energy, and then we started playing our heels. We lost a lot of battles, and it cost us.
The second question is, how do you get it back?
Well, now we're in a tie game. We got half a game left to regain that confidence again, get it back to their zone, and start winning some more battles.
There you go. Battles. You heard it. Battles was what helped them start, and now they got to get back on that game. Brad Larson knows. And I like what he said. We're tied up. Let's go. Half a game left.
Reichel had it roll off his stick. Back in neutral ice. Jackets are going to be called for a penalty here on Boone Jenner for hooking. So, Florida 1 for 2 on the power play will get their third man power advantage of the night.
Yeah, Columbus, 2 minutes for hook.
Subtle little hook. Boone was chasing Fleischman after the puck, and Columbus trying to get something going here. Boone not happy with himself. You just saw him in the penalty box. Here he is hustling. Just a little hook there. And there he is. Just wants this 2 minutes to end so he can get back out and help his team. Hopefully it works out that way.
We mentioned 1 for 2 on the power play. 6 shots. Wrap around attempt there. Bobrovsky, the stick save. Kulikov drops it back for Goodbranson. Trying to see it through the screen is Bobrovsky. The shot sails wide of the net. Florida was 1 for 3 on Monday night at Nationwide. Bjugstad with a couple of goals. Wins that battle. Protects the puck. Throws it in front. Off Dalton Prout. Loose puck move. Effectively there by Johnson for Chaput. And the Jackets have sent it the length of the ice.
Great play by Dalton Prout. Good heads up defensive awareness. Gets his stick on the lane. Bjugstad, who's hot, is trying to feed that across the ice.
Kulikov up the middle. Here, Hayes fires it wide. He was behind the Jackets' defense, but sent it wide on the wrist shot. But Branson stepping up, unable to keep it in. Foligno hustles. Kulikov, the lone man back. On for Goodbranson. Off the wall. Peary. Trocheck stood up there by James Wisniewski. Foligno back to make the defensive play. Hard off the glass and out of play.
Let's take a look at this defensive play by Dalton Prout. We talked about him after the first period. Bjugstad here, he's got 2 goals. He sees his player across ice, Dalton Prout, in front of the net, calmly, gets his stick on that puck, breaks up that attempt by Bjugstad.
2 assists, 2 block shots, 1 takeaway. 55 seconds left of the Jenner penalty. The draw won by Trocheck. Ekblad. Campbell. Hanging on. Looks for the open man. Peary plays it here in the right circle. Peary back to Ekblad and hops over his stick, and now a race for the puck. Ekblad and Johansson. Ekblad able to chop it into the corner. Campbell back to retrieve the loose puck. Ryan Campbell steps out of the zone. Dumps it into Jackets territory. Trapped there by Bobrovsky. Alertly so. He'll play it off into the corner. Peary knocked down by Jack Johnson. Crowd looking for a penalty to be called there. One behind the net. Hayes into the high slot. Calvert's there to tip it by Ekblad. Calvert uses his speed. Short-handed, walks in. And Luongo got a stick on it as Calvert went racing to the net. Good work there by Matt Calvert.
Great hustle, great awareness too to chip it by Ekblad. He knew he had the speed on him. Kept going, just didn't get that shot away.
Jenner has stepped out of the box. Jackets back at full strength. Looking to stem the storm here. It has been all Florida in the second period. They've doubled up on the shot clock now through the hockey game, 28-14. Jackets have registered just 3 shots to 15 here in the second for Florida. Nick Foligno off the wall. Jenner will pick it up at center. He's got Calvert with him. Calvert now heads off to the bench. Jenner sends it in deep. Kulikov pressure, tosses it behind, looking there for Mitchell. A race for the puck. Jenner gets there first. On to Hartnell. Cruising in front there is Foligno. Hartnell cycles out of the corner, tosses it right back. Foligno walking out. Foligno hangs on. Hartnell in front of the net. And knocked down as the puck was cleared, and the Jackets are going to be called for another penalty. This one to Hartnell for tripping. 6:10 left a tripping penalty for the Jackets. Scott Hartnell.
Columbus penalty 43, 2 minutes tripping.
Gordy Dwyer announces it. And that's an offensive zone penalty. Scott Nick Foligno. Foligno had a good opportunity there to try to throw it at the net, and instead he tries to go to Hartnell. And as he does that, Hartnell, if the puck doesn't get to Hartnell, I think it's Jussi Jokinen. He sticks his leg out, maybe trying to get the puck, or maybe trying to sell it that he's getting the puck. Jussi goes down. Hartnell sits for 2.
Good call. Campbell. Off the wall here for Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad. Settling it down was his power play goal, the lone goal in Columbus on Monday night. Had the game winner against the Red Wings in Detroit Tuesday night. Riding a 2-game goal scoring streak. Fleischmann. Back to the point. No, he'll hang on. Field to the goal line for Huberdeau. Back in front. Jackets do a great job defending in front of Bobrovsky and clear it down the ice.
Columbus Blue Jackets can't get emotional here. They had a 3-goal lead. They saw it disappear, but they are in a tie game. They got to get over it and just get back on their game. Not take these penalties. It's a sign of maturity. The quicker they can get on their game and get back in this game, the better off they'll be.
I couldn't agree more. And as you well know here, as we look back on this early part of the season, the Jackets have got themselves into some discipline problems and end up giving up those power play goals to the opposition, which has been part of the Achilles heel for this team all season long.
Well, this is where leadership steps in and says, hey, we got this. We're 3-3. Let's go. Instead of being upset that they've lost that lead. So
David Savard, unable to get a handle on it. Played up high here by Kulikov. Campbell waits patiently right side. Pinching in, looking for that backdoor play. Kulikov. On for Campbell. Campbell, rink wide off the stick of Jenner. Still able to be played by Florida. Trocheck with a goal line for Jesus. Backhands and a sliding stop made there. Anticipating was Wisniewski. Campbell now. Up high. Final 13 seconds. Thrown back to Campbell at the point. Peary slipped and fell after making that pass, and the puck wristed wide by Kulikov. Peary, as Hartnell stands at the penalty bench, down to 2-1. He'll step out. Jackets again, able to kill it off, but they can't continually take penalties. Here's Hartnell, out of the box, spins and turns, looks off Foligno. Wisniewski stepping up. Kulikov with a poke check, and down the left wing. Peary waits for reinforcements, crosses the line late in the shift for him. Jack Johnson's able to block it, and the Jackets send it away here for Hartnell. Hartnell chops it to the right wing boards. It'll be played there by Kopetsky for Florida. He'll lift it up and out. Bouncing puck, Thornton on the ice, knocked down effectively there by the Jackets' Chaput. Right wing at center. Looking for it there was Scott Hartnell, who remains on since leaving the penalty box. Hartnell now on the left side. As the Jackets dump it deep, it'll be icing here.
The Blue Jackets are home on Tuesday, December 9th to face off against the Philadelphia Flyers. Then again on Thursday, December 18th against the Washington Capitals. Puck drop in both games is 7 o'clock. You can get your tickets right now at BlueJackets.com.
And Scott Hartnell, he came out of the box with a nice opportunity, and you said he stayed out there. He tried to make a couple passes, didn't connect, but now he's in the defensive zone on an icing.
Puck fired up out of the bench. We get a whistle, and we will step aside. Brand new hockey game here, tied at 3 in Florida.
BB&T Center, where it's Columbus 3 and Florida 3. Hey, this week, 4 of the nation's top teams face a must-win game to keep their championship hopes alive, with the Pac-12 Championship presented by Dr. Pepper tomorrow and the Big Ten Championship Saturday, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Face off in Jackets territory to the right of Bobrovsky, and from the drop, shot by Kulikov from the point. After Florida win the draw, Skilly down the right wing. With Reichel and Johansson.
That's right.
So we're kind of seeing a little bit of a shuffling of the deck here. Perhaps maybe, Jody, because of the back-to-back penalties the Jackets were forced to serve.
Well, I don't know. I just think that there's a few guys out there that aren't playing the right way. So he's going to go with guys that are going. But we'll see here.
Leopold steps up. Leopold fires. off the side of the net. Bouncing puck played by Jokinen. Reichel is right there. Boys on the right wing. Lifts it up and out. Leopold will settle down that rolling puck, stepping in front of Bobrovsky. Leopold now off the wall to Johansson at center. Moving up here is Gibbons. Gibbons trying to break through. Played there by Jared Bull. Johansson remains out there. And with the Jackets sending it in deep, Johansson looking to get off and does. Fourth line out there for the Jackets here now. Adam Cracknell, Jared Bull, and Gibbons. Olsen ahead here for Fleischmann, who got it started here early in the second. Fleischmann now backhands one wide of the net. Picked up by Bjugstad. This has been the most effective of the four lines employed by Coach Gerard Gallant. And another penalty coming to the Jackets. They cannot continually head into the penalty box and give the opposition here these manpower advantages, because when the discipline goes away, the Jackets find themselves in trouble.
You're 100% right,
Oh,
and it's
only
about
21, 2 minutes,
momentum
okay.
at this point. And how can you get momentum when you're on the penalty kill every other minute? So, and the penalty killers now are getting into, what is it, 5?
Yep, 5 power plays.
That's a lot of work for these guys that get out there and block shots and win the faceoffs, get the puck down the ice. It's a long change, too, so Columbus has got to do them a favor and keep the rhythm going. We're seeing line changes. We're seeing guys that aren't getting out there much. It's because they've been on the penalty kill for quite a bit here. So get through this penalty kill. 1:48 left in the period. Get the period, go to the room, finish the rest of the penalty kill, and then get your game going in Columbus.
Kept in by Boys. Drop back to Ekblad at the point. Far side of the ice, Campbell. Traffic in front of Bobrovsky. Jokinen sends it to the net. Loose puck in front, and Dalton Prout sends it up, but not out. But following it up there was Boone Jenner, and he sends it the length of the ice. It'll be played there by Luongo, who's been rarely tested here in period number 2. The Jackets with but 3 shots.
He doesn't look very comfortable either.
Backhanded, scramble in front. Bobrovsky will cover up as the net is dislodged. 1:12 left.
If Columbus can get through this and get down on Roberto Luongo, I was just saying, he doesn't look overly confident in there. Let's take a look at the last rush. Another opportunity where players are getting behind the defense. As you saw there, Boys was pretty much alone with Bobrovsky. He looked to make the pass. But Florida is throwing everything at the net, and there's some awkward shots coming in on Sergei because they're tipping off of defensemen, forwards, whatever's in the way. But that mindset is definitely there with the Florida Panthers.
Jody, we talked in the first period about the Jackets' mindset, get shots to the net. After they took the lead, they stopped.
Yeah, they sat back.
Campbell, Ekblad, less than a minute to go here in the second. Power play, a little more than a minute remains. Huberdeau deals it on the left wing. Fleischmann tries to backhand it into the slot. Foligno there with the takeaway, and the Jackets clear.
That was a good play by Nick Foligno. Patiently. He's very good with the puck. And he spun around, used his body to protect, and then made sure it got all the way down the ice.
Another left wing pass. Jackets attempt to chip it out, but can't. Trocheck tried to get a stick on it. Huberdeau does. Deals it on the wing here for Campbell. Campbell off Bobrovsky, who will cover up.
Jack Johnson talking to Trocheck in front. I like to see that physical play from Jack Johnson. Still telling him.
A couple of Michigan natives having a discussion there with Jimmy Hayes stepping in as well. Trocheck out of the Detroit system. Played for one of the minor organizations there in Michigan, in Detroit.
That's right. He was excited to score the other night at Joe Louis Arena. And you talk about Jimmy Hayes, 6'6", steps in and defuses the argument.
19 shots in the second period here for Florida. Final seconds. Bobrovsky hits a play there to knock it away from Chaput. And the oncoming rush from Florida. Luongo. Left behind the net. Kulikov. Trocheck wants it on the right wing. Kulikov throws it up the left side as the horn goes. And a total of 19 shots to 3 in the second period favoring Florida. We're tied 3-3 after 40 minutes. 12 seconds remain in the Wisniewski penalty when we start period number 3. Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Huntington Bank. At Huntington, you can bank like a real fan. Get your Blue Jackets debit card at bluejacketsbanking.com. And by Ohio Health, the official healthcare provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets. Back in the building, teams have returned to the ice here in Sunrise as the Jackets and the Panthers get set for third period play. But before that, here's tonight's AT&T Rewind. And for that, we head to Carolina, where the Hurricanes are hosting Washington, scoreless in the first period.
And Jay Beagle, right here, he makes it 1-0 on a rebound. That's Chimera with all that hustle. And then it's the former Washington Capital, Semin. You see him with the puck, backhand shot. That makes it 1-1. It's currently 2-1. Eric Fair has the go-ahead goal for the Washington Capitals.
Jody, how about the game summary?
How about
Presented by PNC.
Okay, and there it is. Boy, it's been 2 different games, Jeff. First period, all Blue Jackets. Second period, all Panthers. You see the shots on goal. A lot of those were taken on the power play in the second period. Jackets have got to up it in a lot of categories we see here.
What do you think was said by the coaching staff, or is that something the players in the room were taking themselves here?
You know what? It's time for the players to take it. I know the coaching staff probably went in there and talked, but some of these older players probably would have said what we said toward the end of the period. Forget the score. It's 0-0. We got to win a 20-minute game to get 2 points and keep a winning feeling in this locker room. Let's go do it. Let's not be heartbroken because we lost that lead we had.
Boone Jenner, with his third of the season, made it 3-0 Jackets in the early moments of the second period, but then 3 straight by Florida to tie it up. And now, Jenner wins the draw, the third period underway. Jackets still with Wisniewski in the penalty box for the final seconds. Stepping up, there's a shot by Campbell, played by Savard. Off the wall, out steps Wisniewski. Jackets are back at full strength. Ekblad, Fleischmann trying to walk to the front of the net. Fights off a check. Tried to backhand it. Huberdeau tried to get a stick on it. He'll hustle in the corner here. Huberdeau looking for Bjugstad. Broken up by Boone Jenner. Kept in by Huberdeau, who collides with his own teammate, Bjugstad, and now a battle ensues along the wall.
Blue Jackets just want to get that puck over the blue line. They cannot get it out.
Cross ice. Ekblad shovels one. It'll be gloved and wisely held here by Bobrovsky.
Smart play by Sergei just to settle the play down. He saw his teammates as we look at the AT&T power play summary. Florida with a lot of opportunities, and they did cash in on one, but Sergei there, we'll go back to that. He saw his teammates not able to get the puck out. Florida with a little momentum already coming off that power play. Space off to his left as Johansson is in to take the face-off.
And that power play summary provided by AEP. As you get a look there at Ryan Johansson, set for this face-off. Johansson, Hartnell, and Foligno back out there as a unit. Played by Jokinen. Jokinen tosses it behind the net. Dalton Prout throwing boys to the ice. Picked up here by Johansson, who will lift it up and out. Kulikov loves ahead, so play is whistled down.
Coming up on the Big Ten Network this week, a Big Ten battle on the ice as the Ohio State Buckeyes hockey team takes on the Michigan Wolverines at 7 o'clock, only on a Big Ten Network. That's tomorrow night.
Face off at center ice. Inside Florida territory. Kulikov taking it from Mitchell. Jackets keeping it up high, but Kulikov will walk it out. Kulikov with Jokinen. You see Jokinen. Right wing board sends it across for Bergenheim. Off the stick. And wide. Here's Bobrovsky again hanging on. And no rebound here. Bobrovsky trying to settle things down here himself.
That was a tipped shot. Bergenheim is in the middle of the ice, and the puck's on end. See the puck standing up, and that comes off like a knuckleball. And look at that thing drop. Not a lot of speed on it, but we heard Dalton Prout in his interview talk about the ice and how it's not very friendly out there. Lots of bouncing pucks. Another reason for the Blue Jackets to quit passing the puck so much and get it on net.
That's certainly what Florida has done here effectively in the second period. And again, Bobrovsky, who's kind of settled things down and hanging on to those rebounds, and rightfully so here, but yet another face-off in Columbus territory.
Lots of face-offs here to start the period. Kind of a choppy start.
Panthers, just a bit of an update, 27 of the last 30 shots on goal. They've got a 35-14 edge. Turned over at the goal line and then fired out of play.
And the Blue Jackets now, a lot of conversation down there. Chaput, this line, they haven't had any time down in the offensive zone at all this to start the period. The Blue Jackets haven't. So this line of Skilly, Calvert, Chaput is out there now. Try to get it out of the zone, get down, and like you said, Jeff, get pucks at the net.
Skilly racing out of the zone. The right-handed shot comes down that left wing, gets tied up with the official, albeit briefly. Fights that off. Here's Savard now, top of the circle, wrist shot, trying to get his stick out of there and redirect with Chaput. Savard, right point. David Savard looks to the left side. Leopold gets it to Gibbons below the goal line. Tripped up there. Played by Trocheck off the wall looking for Peary. The Jackets will play it cross ice. Leopold ahead for Chaput. Out of the net, Luongo. He'll leave it there for Campbell. Branson takes a hit.
Sure, Jeff, that was a pretty decent shift by that line of Skilly with Gibbons. You want this next line to come out and create the keep playing in the offensive zone.
Bobrovsky with an alert play there to kick out the right pad. There's a shot by Campbell. Bobrovsky again. Two outstanding stops. Bobrovsky right now keeping the Jackets in the hockey game.
His stick is in the net behind him. He's looking for it. Now he's going to go back down and get it.
And alertly and quickly and effectively, we'll see play halted there as he makes the glove stop. But that's good hustle there by Bobrovsky.
And Sergei here, watch this. What a save. And that's where he loses his stick. It goes behind him in the net on that amazing save. Watch this. Spreads the legs, and there the stick goes into the net. And you see him trying to find that stick. He's looking down. He's not sure where it is. And eventually finds it, picks it up, and makes that final save for the whistle.
Puck fired into Florida territory. Mitchell around the net. Turned around by Atkinson, who got the worst of that exchange. Now Jenner forcing a turnover from the captain. Rudy Reichel. High the net for Jenner. Pinned briefly by Kulikov. Jenner fights that up. Good work along the wall. Bjugstad has stepped up. And Kulikov sweeps it ahead, but Atkinson with the active stick able to sweep it right back into the corner. Jenner now looking to cycle out away from Kulikov. Along the wall, Huberdeau backhands a pass for Bjugstad. Fleischmann waits at the offensive blue line, unable to get a stick out of it. Bobrovsky's out of the net. Bobrovsky dishes to the corner. Both teams change up here on the fly. Foligno, cross ice, Wisniewski ahead here for Hartnell. Hartnell's shot is blocked by Olsen and played by Jokinen to the far side for Goodbranson. Goodbranson down that right wing. Puck rolling on end. Goodbranson looking for penalty calls. He talks to the official as play heads up ice.
Well, he took a hit from Nick Foligno, and his helmet kind of flipped up. And I was wondering, he hit his head on the ice, but he must have had his helmet protecting his head.
Jokinen tried to throw it in front, and again, alertly, Bobrovsky makes the play.
Let's look at the Blue Jackets here. They play good. They're playing well when they have great support. Watch this Jenner. He gets the puck in the corner, and he's got two Panthers and no support from the Blue Jackets. He needs closer support. The guys are waiting for him to get the puck to him. And watch this little play by Bobrovsky. You see Connauton go away. Connauton doesn't go over to Bobrovsky, who's got the puck. He goes in support. He trusts Sergei with the puck. Moves to the corner. Says, hey, I'm an option if you want. Nice play by Sergei. Good heads up play by Connauton.
Approaching the 5-minute mark of this third period. A 3-3 tie. Long lead pass intended there for Calvert. Sails over the glass and up into the crowd.
Hey, Fans, join us at the R-Bar in the Arena District this Tuesday at 6 for the Blue Jackets Fan Cam. Answer Blue Jackets trivia questions, and you could see yourself on Blue Jackets Live. See you at the R-Bar this Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
15 minutes, 37 seconds left here in the third period. A 3-3 tie as Jokinen wins the faceoff. Kept in up high by Ekblad, who tried to send it ahead, but saw Calvert step in front, and here's Bobrovsky.
Let's take a look at the shots here, Jeff. You see the titles there, and boy, the Jackets.
Wow, 77 shots have been generated by Florida.
Yeah, and you want to see that. I played for coaches that want to see that up and around 80 to have success. That's an impressive night, 80. They're already at 77 attempts at net. The Jackets below 30 at only 24 attempts.
Well, it was 19-3, the shots on goal in the second period favoring Florida. They are 8-0 in shots on goal here in the third.
You know, but still, it's 3-3. I mean, they're still in the game. They've got to get. They're going to generate. They're going to have an opportunity, but they just have got to get a little tighter defensively.
Dalton Prout sends one through, but it sails wide. Boys off that backboard with Bergenheim. The two cross the line. Jack Johnson defends. Off escape right to Prout, but alertly played by Jared Bull, who's able to clear to center. Oh boy, Reichel. A couple of assists tonight. Takes a hard hit. No damage done. Left wing feed. This is Hayes across the line. Played by Florida, but the Jackets walk out of their own zone, and it's shoveled up the left wing by Reichel with Atkinson in pursuit.
He tried to lay a nice soft pass at just inside the red line. He didn't want it to go all the way down the ice for icing, but it did make it all the way down, so it comes back. Jenner and Reichel are bent over here. They're trying to catch some air as this faceoff is to the left of Sergei Bobrovsky, and the Blue Jackets have already used their timeout, so can't use that here in this icing situation. Give these guys an extra break.
Gudbranson tosses it behind the net. Hayes looking to walk out. Hayes with that long reach will shovel it back to the opposite side. Stepping up is Gudbranson. Gudbranson high off the glass. Bouncing puck, and it's played there by Peary. Albeit the Jackets able to steal. They'll try to change up here with play in neutral territory. Olsen from center. Hammered in. Gets away from Savard. Scott Hartnell looking for the handle and was able to shovel it up, but not out. Gudbranson again with the save at the line, but the second effort there by Hartnell, and it's deep into Florida territory.
That's good support by Scott Hartnell there. Johansson does a good job tying up the puck and the man. And Scotty comes in, make sure it goes down the ice.
Up high, shot by Savard. Ricochets off the blocker of Luongo, who followed it. Able to track it, knocked it away. Huberdeau fights away from Savard. Foligno off the wall. Kept in. Left point there by Campbell. Ekblad moves up, fires a shot. Bobrovsky right there. Square to the shooter and hangs on. 13-13 left in the third. We are tied at 3 and right back here to Sunrise after this brief stoppage in play.
To Sunrise, 13-13 to go. Maybe that means it's time for Cam Atkinson to do something for the Blue Jackets. Hey, tonight on Fox Sports Live, we have full highlights and analysis from Thursday night football in Chicago as the Cowboys take on the Bears. Jay Glazer tells you how Browns coach Mike Pettine got talked out of starting Johnny Manziel. And LeBron heads to Madison Square Garden to duel Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. All of that coming on Fox Sports Live, Fox Sports 1.
Back to the live action. Jackets scored an attempted shot there. Boom to the line. Campbell got a stick on it to keep it away from Gibbons, who finishes his check in the corner. Fleischmann taking a hit from Jared Bull. Bull sweeps it behind the net. Ekblad on it. Paired with Campbell. On to Campbell, who backhands it up and out. Huberdeau attempted to play it. Nonetheless, able to clear the zone, and Campbell is right back on it. D-to-D. Ekblad for Campbell. Campbell marching through the neutral zone. Steps in across the line. From the corner, Dalton Prout away from Huberdeau. Down that right wing. Boone Jenner avoids a hit from McKenzie up on the left side Reichel. Atkinson tried to reach for it, unable to do so. Fleischman sends it into Jackets territory. Wisniewski sends it back ahead. Reichel for Atkinson. Left wing goes Jenner. Puck knocked out of the air. McKenzie sends it right in on his own net. Tried to glove it from and away from Boone Jenner. Right to Luongo, who had to be sharp there.
Yeah, he was making a turn, and as he was doing that, just kind of lost the puck, went out of his reach, and Luongo had to be alert.
Connaughton, left wing. Move to center. Bouncing puck played by Mitchell at his own blue line. Cross ice. Kulikov, McKenzie. Left wing Kopetsky. And offside the call.
How about the Ohio Health great save, Jeff?
We'll go for it.
And it's Sergei Bobrovsky. You recall here, Brian Campbell all alone. Sergei is there. He says, I got my guy. And there he just catches the puck. Says, thank you very much. We are at 3-3. It was all Jackets in the first, all Florida in the second. And this sets up for a great final part of this game. And thanks to saves like that by Sergei Bobrovsky, that's why we're here.
Backhanded ahead, out to center. Leopold. Savard. Waiting. Matt Calvert off his stick. Moved by Kulik to center. Looking left wing for Bergenheim. Bobrovsky observes. He'll play it. Rings it off the wall. Leopold is there. Here's Matt Calvert with Skilling. But Branson defended. Calvert fights off the check. Help there and support from Skilling. Savard, wrist shot. Luongo is there. Trying to redirect was Calvert. Cruising in front, but could not get a stick on it. And Luongo hangs on.
And that was good support by Jack Skilly. Calvert took the initial hit. And then this pass is received from Skilly, and that's David Savard. As Calvert tries to get in there to create a screen. Luongo, he's locked up on that shot. He saw it the whole way.
Ryan Johansson will take the draw for the Jackets. Working against Derek McKenzie in the defensive zone.
See, Atkinson's getting double shifted here. He's out there with Johansson and Hartnell now.
Hayes attempted to clear, failed to do so, and Luongo forced to make another stop.
Quick shot off the wall by Scott Hartnell. I don't mind that. That's what you got to do. I mean, those are unsuspecting areas for shots. Goalie's not expecting it, so keep whipping it at Luongo as much as you can. You saw that Bukestad goal from behind the goal line, off the defenseman, over Sergei Bobrovsky's shoulder. I mean, those are tough plays. If the Blue Jackets get back to that mentality, they're going to have a good shot here in this game.
Atkinson unable to pitch it along the board. Stepping back, making the play there is Perry. Cross ice for Kulikov. And wristed in by Florida. Prout to the line. Stepping up. Mitchell hands it right back to Dalton Prout. Jack Johnson on for Hartnell. Steered to the corner. Hartnell first in on the forecheck for the Jackets. Hit there on Mitchell. Atkinson on the off wing. Trying to play it along the wall. Florida clear to center. Hayes now through and across the line. Drops the pass there. Trocheck with a stop. Bobrovsky able to make the save off that stick of Trocheck. But could not cover up. Campbell unable to play it at the left point. And it's icing.
That was a good defensive play by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Trocheck had a great game in Detroit. They're going 2 assists. He knows how to score, and he's in tight here. This is Jimmy Hayes who's carrying the mail up the ice, but Trocheck gets in, finds his way to the front of the net, and then a little play here, tries to wrap it around. Sergei's there to stymie that idea.
Ekblad at the right point. Gets it off into the corner there for Bukestad. Jack Johnson with the steal, and the Jackets send it the length of the ice once more. And Scotty Hartnell, who's been out there for some time, will have to remain out there again.
These guys have all been out here for a pretty lengthy shift. Offense, defense, battling a little bit, so they're going to need to pay attention here. Win the faceoff, make sure they make a good pass. Get it out, get it deep, and get off.
Johansson wins the draw. Jackets able to clear, and finally they're able to get some fresh legs on.
You see Cam Atkinson there in the middle of the screen. He stays out there on the right wing, intercepts that pass, pushes the Panthers back. That enables him to get off the ice.
Carried in by Fleischmann. Fleischmann pulls up, throws it to the point. Campbell reaching for it, has it. Backing him up is Ekblad. Ekblad now the right-handed shot to the left point as it's swept behind the net and played by Fleischmann. Wisniewski hands to Chaput. Up high, Ekblad lets one fly. Jackets block it. Chaput stepping in front of it. Fleischmann able to keep it in. Back here for Ekblad again. Ekblad a wrist shot. And the Jackets able to stop the tide there. Bjugstad unable to pull the trigger. And the Jackets walk out of the zone. And this is Chaput. Chaput sends it over Ekblad. And the Jackets making that shift a short one. Get fresh legs on.
You know, we talked about Ekblad. He is so good, Jeff, at getting the puck through. We don't see many of his shots blocked. We saw one there by Michael Chaput. But then the next one he took got right in on Sergei Bobrovsky. Heads-up player, only 18. Very impressive.
Well, he was far and away the premier pick in the draft. Thus went number 1 overall. And he has certainly gained the confidence of his coach, Gerard Gallant.
Oh, yeah, and there's no question. This team has got talent. They have a first overall, second overall, 2 third overall picks playing for this team. Barkov isn't playing tonight. He was the second pick in the draft.
And a surprise one at that when he was taken.
That's right, because that was the year that it went McKinnon. And then Seth Jones thought was going to be number 2, but it went to Florida. Made that pick. So there's no question they have talent, young talent. And we've seen it.
One of the reasons why Gerard Gallant, who's known to be very effective with young players, successful at the junior ranks, won a Memorial Cup. He was the key coach for Therrien in Montreal, working with the young guys, Galchenyuk specifically. And he's come here to Florida with Dale Talon's blessings as general manager to work with these young kids.
Well, yeah, and he's got a lot of them. And you could tell when you talk to Gerard Gallant, he's so excited about what he's working with. He's so good at understanding hockey players in general, but young kids, he's very good with.
Foligno moving to center ice on this last shift with wingers not accustomed to playing with. Jackets able to rim it around the boards and send it all the way down the ice for an icing call. Well, all rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, telecommunication to the public, or other unauthorized use of the broadcast without the express written consent of the Columbus Blue Jackets is expressly prohibited. Foligno remains out there at center. Normally playing with Hartnell and Ryan Johansson. Out there at center now with Hartnell and Atkinson.
And we've heard Todd Richards say our best players need to be our best players in the past, as recently as 3 games ago. And this is an instance, late in the game, 3-3 game. This is where you really want to see that.
Johansson in front, Atkinson. And now Hartnell takes exception to Pirri. And we've got everybody picking a dance partner here right now. Johansson's got 2, takes a punch from Ekblad, goes back as Pirri hangs on to him.
Pirri came in there to Hartnell. I mean, if you're going to go at Hartnell, he's probably going to come back at you.
For sure. 6:32 left.
3-3 here in Sunrise. Join the Jackets on New Year's Eve when they host the Minnesota Wild. Get the Dispatch Family Value Pack. It includes a game ticket, food, and more. Plus, the special Family Pack also includes a pregame skate at the Ice House. Get tickets now at BlueJackets.com.
So, minor penalties assessed to Pirri and Hartnell.
Hartnell got slashing. That must have been before he got the gloves up in his face. Pirri came in because Hartnell whacked Luongo. The puck was under Luongo's pads. Hartnell didn't hear a whistle. Whacked him. Pirri came in. Hartnell gave him a nice little, I didn't see the slash, but a little taste of his glove.
So a little more open ice here. 4-on-4. Atkinson and Jenner work up front for the Jackets. Jack Johnson and Wisniewski on the point. Kulikov, right wing feed. Kopetsky fires. Pad save Bobrovsky. 46 shots have been directed at the Jackets net. We showed you the number of attempted shots closing in on 80 for the evening. And that was several minutes ago. Across the line, Foligno firing a shot, and that's off the netting and out of play. Well, the Jackets will head across the state after this one, and their next action Saturday night in Tampa against perhaps, if not the best team in the Eastern Conference, certainly one of the best in the name of the Lightning. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Blue Jackets Live, and at 7 o'clock, you can see Stamkos and the Lightning here on Fox Sports Ohio take on your Blue Jackets.
And you talk about all the attempts on net. That is simply a mindset that every line there in the defensive pairs for the Florida Panthers has. And you saw in the first period, it was a lot of the Blue Jackets. That's where they had a lot of their shots and attempts. But after that, towards the end of the first, Florida has been directing every shot that they've had an opportunity to throw at Sergei Bobrovsky. They've tried to get at him.
And if you joined us late, they've come from a 3-0 deficit. And the Florida Panthers. Jackets in early moments of period number 2 on a goal by Boone Jenner. Why the Jackets took a 3-0 lead. We'll be back after this. 5:20 left. 3-3, 5:20 left. How did we get here? Well, how about the big lots, big play? Jody?
Well, the kid we just saw there, Bukestad, this is his second goal tonight. He knew it was in right there. He's below the goal line, just creeps above it, throws the puck towards the net. It goes off Jack Johnson, up over Sergei Bobrovsky's shoulder, and that capped the comeback to make it an even game for the Florida Panthers. We're now tied 3-3 with the Columbus Blue Jackets late in the third period.
Late in the third, and they can certainly thank their goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky, who has been outstanding here tonight, particularly in this third period, for the onslaught in front of the Columbus net. Less than 5 minutes left. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 20 seconds as Hartnell and Fury serve out the remainder of their roughing and slashing minors. Neutral zone play. Puck handed here to Huberdeau. Walking in and across the line. He's got Bukestad with him and fires it out of play.
And you talk about Sergei Bobrovsky's focus. There's 2 buses that leave the hotel here, and the first one was 3.5 hours before the game at 4 o'clock. There was only one player on that bus, and it was Sergei Bobrovsky. Focused. He just likes to get here early. He has that routine of skipping and stretching and all kinds of stuff that he does to get ready for the game. But he's very consistent with that, and you could tell he's ready to go here tonight.
I got a question for you. How would you know that he was the only player on the bus unless you were on that bus yourself?
I was taking tickets.
Did you get any extra money from the coaching staff?
No, I rode that bus. 7:30 game, too much time at the hotel, Jeff.
I hear you. You were chomping at the bit to get this one going.
And it was a good start here for the Blue Jackets. You know, it's been a choppy third period. Lots of whistles, not a lot of flow. Columbus here is set up. And under 5 minutes to play. Really pay attention to details here. They're in the defensive zone, but they need to get some more time down there. And Luongo, I think, looks shaky. Maybe it's because he hasn't been really tested in a while.
Foligno off the boards. Foligno's coming out for face-offs and then is quickly heading off. The defensive zone draws right now being taken by Foligno. Earlier this period, we saw Johansson sitting on the bench, and coming on was Foligno for the draw in the defensive zone. Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Atkinson off the boards to center. Kulikov rips one in. Bobrovsky had to fight off that bouncing puck. Less than 4 minutes left in regulation. A scoreless third, tied at 3. Atkinson through the neutral zone and across the line. Atkinson slides it into the corner. Chaput in pursuit. Kirby Reichel out there, the third member of the forward unit. Moved by Wisniewski. Reichel, a couple of assists in his hockey game tonight.
Good support there by Michael Chaput. Gets right in. He saw Reichel down there with 2 players on him. Chaput comes in for this just to help out.
Moving high. Fought off by by Jack Johnson, who continues as a defensive mate here for James Wisniewski. Now, those two were fixtures for the Jackets as a unit at times last season and the season before. And here down the stretch, they continue as a defensive pairing. Less than 3 minutes left. Gibbons unable to get a stick on it. Fired from a distance, gloved and held by Bobrovsky.
Gibbons there, the puck is coming up the wall. He just tries to put his stick on the wall and angle it towards the middle, hoping his centerman is there, but there's not enough steam, or to get it over the blue line, not enough steam on the puck to clear the line, and that's where Sean Thornton jumps on that puck and throws it at Sergei Bobrovsky. Foligno stays out there, and he's playing the wing right now.
16-4 are the shots on goal here in the third period, favoring Florida. And again, a big assist for the Jackets being in this game here. The goaltending of Bobrovsky.
Yeah, no question, Jeff. He's been sharp in all situations. He had to make some very tough saves.
A clearing pass, and in comes Foligno. Trying to beat Luongo. Luongo stayed right with him. Foligno handing the puck here. Dealt to the point for Savard. Boone Jenner, Foligno, and Gibbons late in the shift. Gibbons out of gas. He'll head to the bench. Jackets again look for Foligno. One thing about Foligno, he's got tremendous endurance.
Yeah, he's been out there a while. To get that, I mean, you get energy when you get the puck. There's no doubt. But he made that play on net and stayed out there defensively. And just made a nice play to get it deep and then get off. Very responsible plays by Nick Foligno with the puck.
Fleischmann. Bjugstad looking there for Huberdeau, but the Jackets defend and able to come up with that puck. It was Matt Calvert with the steal. Off the wall and out to center. Kulikov sends it ahead. Huberdeau across the line, away from Wisniewski. Huberdeau backhands one in on Bobrovsky, the stick save. Huberdeau again had it briefly on a turnover, but the Jackets able to recover. Jack Johnson defending. Trocheck to the point. Mitchell, boy, that one was awfully close to being offside.
That was
late
out.
offside, and finally they whistle play down.
And Foligno there, you mentioned, end of his shift. He gets the puck, and he goes. He's got to battle off some players. Right, receives the pass. He's going. He keeps his feet moving. Well, if he got the shot on net here or not, we'll take another look at it with the low angle. No, just rolled off his stick at the end. He's trying to protect it from the back checker, Brian Campbell. And got right on top of Luongo, but did not get the attempt on net.
Mitchell hammers it off the wall. Jackets dump in. That's Atkinson out there with Hartnell and Boone Jenner. Right wing Jimmy Hayes. Little more than a minute left. Stepping up across the line, Mitchell. Mitchell sends it towards the net. Bobrovsky sees it through the crowd, and he will hold on.
Bob has had a lot of work to do here tonight.
I'll say 50 shots now officially recorded by Florida. 50.
And sneaky hard saves. I'm telling you that there was the last attempt down low by the Florida Panthers was a backhand shot off the stick of Huberdeau. And that's a hard, backhand shots are hard to pick up. And it was through a screen. He stayed with that. And that last shot by Willie Mitchell from the point, not very hard, but Sergei's got to get down to make that save too. So not just routine saves by Sergei Bobrovsky here in this, what is it, 51 shots?
Up high, cross ice, moving in, Jokinen, and it went off Bobrovsky and off the outside of the goalpost. An unusual occurrence here. Every Panther, with the exception of Goodbranson, has at least one shot on goal. You rarely see that.
Well, let's take a look at that last chance by Jokinen. Sergei didn't see where that rebound went. He saw him shake his head thereafter. There's a lot of traffic in front of him. The defensemen are trying to move those guys out of there, but there's a couple layers as the defensemen and forwards are hashing out what they want to do here off this faceoff. 20 seconds left, 19.8 in this period.
Boone Jenner for the draw, working against UC Jokinen. A face-off to the right of Bobrovsky. Jokinen wins the faceoff. Huberdeau drops it back. Campbell hands it right back to him on the half wall. Jokinen fights off the check. Tried to feed it back to Huberdeau. Jackets able to shovel it out. And it was Atkinson. Walked it to the line and then sent it ahead. Final seconds. And there's the horn to end regulation. So each team will pick up a point. And now, when we come back, 5 minutes of sudden death overtime, 4-on-4. 3-3, the score. Respective coaches, records for the Jackets: 0-2 in overtime, 0-1 in a shootout. 2-6 are the Florida Panthers. They are 1-3 in shootouts. Well, we talked about the shot breakdown early on in the third period. Take a look now at how many attempts the Panthers have. 94, 51 on goal. Second consecutive period, they fired 19 shots at Bobrovsky. Turned aside all 19. 26 have been blocked by the Jackets, and 17 missed shots.
That is impressive, but the Blue Jackets with 32 attempts.
Almost a 3-1 margin for Florida.
That's something that they've definitely got to work on. Instead of making that extra pass, the pass off the goalie is one of the best plays offensively you can make. And even though only 51 have been off, Bob, only 51 out of 91. That's that mindset. So here we go to overtime, 4-4. They've switched ends. We've seen this a few times now this year. The long change just makes it harder for the teams to make that change when they need it.
And the effort here to win in overtime and avoid the shootout. Bjugstad. Far side, Savard defense. Out there with Leopold, who got a skate on it. A bouncing puck. Played here along the wall by Boone Jenner, and it's out to center. Mitchell. A hit here for Kulikov. Kulikov trying to cut in, fires a shot. Bobrovsky, a couple of stops there, and now Jenner moves away. Jackets break out of their own zone. Jenner down the right wing and across the line. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left. And 5 minutes of sudden death overtime. Out of the pack, Boys. On to Jokinen. The two cross the line. Boys to the right wing boards. Hangs on. Poke check there, and alertly so by Leopold. Jenner sweeps it into Florida territory. Jackets get 4 fresh players on here as Ekblad moves into the zone. Fires it on Bobrovsky.
Yeah, that play by Jenner, he knew everyone was tired. He just wanted to get it in the zone so they could all get off. He achieved that.
Matt Calvert across the line. Calvert now puts the brakes on. Looks off Jack Johnson. Bouncing puck. Foligno can't get to it. It'll be played here by Ekblad. Rimmed around the wall, waiting his boys. Making the shift for him. He can't clear the zone. Foligno, left wing. Foligno fights off the check there from Trocheck. Ekblad is there. Trocheck comes up with a loose puck after the poke check by Ekblad. Out of the zone. That's Boys. Late in the shift, he'll chop it right in front of the Florida bench, enabling him to get off for some fresh legs there. Scott Hartnell at center. Hartnell dishes to the right wing. It was off the skate of Chaput, who recovers and away from Campbell. Hands to Hartnell. Hartnell hangs on, fires a shot that sails wide with Ekblad defending. Campbell breaks out of his own zone. Left wing, cross ice for Ekblad, who crosses into Jackets territory, and a shot blocked there by Connaughton and sent wide. Goodbranson pressure up high. Chaput loses his stick. Goodbranson steps up. Goodbranson a shot. Bobrovsky to stop, and it's swept to the near wall by Savard.
Couple good plays there by Michael Chaput. One to steal that puck back in the offensive zone. The other one in the defensive zone just before he lost his stick. The break up play by the Florida Panthers. And here's a look at Michael Chaput. He's at the end of his shift here. But here's early in the shift. Goes off his skate. Doesn't give up on the play. Goes back at Campbell. Very good play by Michael Chaput, and that created a 2-on-1 with him and Hartnell. Hartnell faked the shot, tried to get around the young defenseman Ekblad, but Ekblad got his stick on Hartnell's attempt at net. Boone Jenner back out there with Nick Foligno.
Peary is pinned along the boards. Fleischman tied up by Jack Johnson. Boone Jenner. Foligno fights off the check. Fleischman's lost his stick. Recovers with Jack Johnson draped all over him. Now Foligno will try again. Here's Foligno across the line. Working there on that far side against Willie Mitchell. Thrown to the ice. Foligno protecting that puck. Gets it back to Jack Johnson. A wrist shot towards the net. Steered aside. The stick save of Luongo. Jack Johnson below the Florida goal line. Walking out. Jackets credited with one shot here in overtime. Buried in here by Peary. 1:40 left. Cross ice Ekblad in off the point. Ekblad throws it into the slot. Jackets recover. And walking it to center, this is Leopold. Steps away from Huberdeau. He'll backhand it in. The Jackets will make changes with less than 90 seconds left.
Another wholesale change for the Blue Jackets here.
Huberdeau across the line. He's got Bjugstad with him. Connaughton head up off the skate of the referee Gord Dwyer. The Jackets slow play down. Wisniewski steps in front of his own net. Headmans that puck to Gibbons. Away from Bjugstad. Darts down the right side. Gibbons in the high slot. Fires a shot. Luongo to stop, and there's no further play with exactly 1 minute left in OT.
Well, the Florida Panthers do a good job of getting their sticks on a lot of the attempts by the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it just takes a little bit off that shot. There's Gibbons. He got his feet moving here. He gets into a nice area where he wants to shoot the puck. But the defender's got his stick right in the lane. Stick on puck. But Gibbons can't release that shot the way he wants to or when he wants to. He did get it on net, though. Face off to Luongo's right.
According to the numbers on the scoreboard, Florida credited with 46 face-off wins to the Jackets' 28. Here's Boyes into the final minute. Defending there is Wisniewski. James Wisniewski on here for Connaughton. Connaughton left wing to center. Across the line. Hands it right over to Willie Mitchell. Well into the final minute. Boyes waits at center. Rink wide. Mitchell jumping up. The captain of Florida tries to steer it in front. Fights off the check. Sweeps it back and cycling out, albeit defended there by Connaughton, was Jussi Jokinen. Less than 20 left. Nick Foligno had it chopped away by Jimmy Hayes. Final 10. Hayes hustling after it. Wisniewski. And Hayes. Battle in the corner. Thrown up high. Jackets block it, and we are headed to a shootout. 55-20. The final shots on goal. 4 for Florida. 2 shots in overtime for the Jackets.
The Blue Jackets have been actually working on their shootouts, Jeff, the last week and a half since their last one. They've been working on them in practice. You know, and it was all Columbus in the first. And then the second period, boy, it was... the Jackets got one early. Let's take a look here. Boone Jenner finds the puck after Reichel takes the shot. And then Fleischman gets his second of the year, top shelf. Fleischman to Bjugstad here. That's 1 of 2 for him. This was all in the second period. All these goals came in the second period. This is Bjugstad's second. He knew it was in. You heard him say there it was in. And that really was the last time the goal was scored. Third period, nothing. Overtime, nothing. We're going to a shootout. And here's the first shooter for the Florida Panthers.
It's Huberdeau. Down the right side. Moving in. Bobrovsky there. The poke check. And the stop.
Good job by Sergei. Stayed with him the whole way. Huberdeau came in with speed. It's a left-handed shot. He goes wide. Head up the whole way. You see a little juke there. Sergei bats it away.
Huberdeau came in. Sorry, Jody. 50% in shootout attempts. He was 2 for 4. So now Cam Atkinson.
Yeah, I was saying the Blue Jackets they practiced this week, and the coaches watched closely.
Atkinson, first shooter, moves in, and Luongo gets the pad on it.
Luongo's a big guy. He has no trouble getting those pads from post to post. Cam comes in with good speed here. Reading the goal, you can see he's watching Roberto to see if he's going to move. Saw something there, took it to right, just couldn't get that over the pad.
You may remember a couple of years ago, this guy Jokinen, while with Dallas, was something like 11 for 11 in shootouts. Here he comes in. And Bobrovsky says no.
Good job by Sergei. Blocker save there. You're right, Jokinen has that reputation too. I'm sure Sergei knew it. Tricky player, but no problem for Sergei there. Look confident there, Jeff. Really out in his crease. Sharp.
Matt Calvert down the right side. Luongo steps out, now moves back into the blue paint and fights it off for the blocker.
Matt Calvert there looked like he had his mind made up, knew what he was going to do. You see him here.
Only other shootout Jackets involved in went 7 rounds.
Yeah, and they came out on the wrong end of that one.
Here's Brad Boyes, who also known for his shootouts. But this time, he is denied. Bobrovsky very calmly turns it aside. What a night for Bobrovsky.
Yeah. It looks like Boyce is trying to go 5-hole here. Little fake with the stick. Sergei, no problem there.
And now, Bobrovsky's buddy, Nick Foligno, can end it. Foligno coming in, fires a shot, and Luongo the stop.
I like this by Foligno. He doesn't get in and deke on Luongo. He also tries to just beat him with a shot.
Kind of showed him the 5-hole there and then covered up.
Yeah.
Bjugstad, a couple of goals here tonight. He's got 10 on the year, including the tying goal. Moving in, fires. Oh, what an outstanding glove stop by Bobrovsky. One of his best of the night.
Wow. Sergei on his belly. Bjugstad here makes the move, then takes it across. Wow. Sergei found it.
So Johansson gets an opportunity in the hockey game. The Jackets' leading scorer. Moving in, slows down, scores! Jackets win their second consecutive victory. And I'll tell you what, the team should buy Bobrovsky dinner tomorrow night in Tampa because he's kept them in the hockey game until the Jackets could win in the shootout. Johansson, the game-winning goal.
What a goal by Ryan Johansson. His last shootout goal was stick handle, stick handle, stick handle. It looked like Luongo was waiting for that. It didn't come. Johansson just waits with the puck on his forehand and then snaps it past Roberto Luongo for the win here at the BB&T Center in Florida. Wow. Great start. And 2 points for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
And there is that hug. Foligno and Bobrovsky embrace. And Sergei Bobrovsky, far and away the star of the hockey game here tonight, as he turns aside 52 of 55 shots before Johansson's able to win it.